Welcome back to Joyfully at Home. I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas. We had a great Christmas here ourselves. And as you might be able to tell from my voice, I also got a nice little cold for Christmas, but we're on the mend. So we're going to go ahead and make a treat that you may have enjoyed even at the mall this Christmas while you're shopping. We are going to do Aunt Annie's inspired soft pretzels today. They're a great treat anytime. And especially right now, if you have family watching football, they're wonderful for that too. You start your dough for your pretzels off with 1.5 cups of warm water. And this is another great dough that you don't have to proof. It's you put all your ingredients in and turn your mixer on. No proofing is needed. 1 1/8 teaspoon of salt. Now you'll add 4 cups of all-purpose flour. You can use bread flour, you can use all-purpose, either is fine in this recipe. Now, because we're not proofing our dough, the way you add your sugars is right on top, and you have 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Add that right on top of your flour, and then a tablespoon of active dry yeast. Now all you do is put your dough hook right on your mixer. And even if you don't have a dough hook, you can even make this by hand. It's not complicated. It's a very simple dough. Turn your mixer on low. You'll want to start off slowly so obviously you don't make a mess with your flour. Once your dough starts to come together, you can bring it up a little bit higher in speed to knead your dough. This prevents any hand kneading from being done. If you are making this dough by hand, it's 5 to 10 minutes of hand kneading. It's still very simple. Now that you have a nice incorporated, completely together dough ball, just make sure that you go ahead and tuck it in so it'll rise nicely, and you set it in a warm place until it's about doubled. It'll take about a half an hour to an hour depending on the warmth of your room. And then we can go ahead and portion this dough out into 12 portions to make our pretzels. Now that your dough is risen in size and it's about double, we'll go ahead and scrape the dough out onto a lightly floured surface. It can be your countertop or pastry board, whatever you like to use. Turn your dough right out onto your surface. And I'll take our dough and kind of start to stretch it out a little bit. Get it into a nice length. Now we'll take 1.5 cups of warm water. This will be your dipping water for your pretzels, and you'll add 2 tablespoons of baking soda. Make sure it's baking soda and not baking powder. You'll go ahead and whisk these two together so they're nice and mixed. And this will be your dipping water for your pretzels. It'll give them that nice pretzel flavor and golden color. Now you'll take your dough. I generally like to eyeball it a little bit. You can weigh your dough out, but I'll cut it in half. And then each section you'll cut into 6 pieces. You'll get 12 pretzels out of this dough recipe. You can eyeball it into 6 pieces of approximately the same size, or you can weigh them if you'd like to weigh them and make sure that they're exactly the same size and weight. Now that we've got them all cut, we'll take our dough pieces and set our others aside until we're ready to roll them. And you'll start rolling out your dough. Just give it a light flour. You don't want too much because a little bit of stick is good to keep the rolling nice. Roll it out into a long pencil-like shape. Keep rolling until you get a nice thin rope. The thinner you go, the more it will be like an Aunt Annie's style pretzel. Once you have your dough rope about approximately 2 feet long, dip it into your water bath of your baking soda and then form a nice pretzel shape by making a U shape and then crisscrossing. And there you have your first pretzel. Continue to make your shapes. You'll get about 6 pretzels per pan and you'll get 12 pretzels per batch. Now that you have your pretzels all made up and on your pan, you're going to go ahead and put them in a 450-degree oven for about 10 to 15 minutes until they're nice and golden brown. Once they come out, that's when they get the magic of butter and salt. Now that your pretzels have come out of the oven, they're nicely golden brown. What you'll do is take about 4 tablespoons of butter, get it softened or melted, and generously brush them with that butter while they're nice and hot and fresh from the oven. Give them a quick brush, lots of basting with butter here, and then with coarse sea salt or pretzel salt, sprinkle with that, and then you're ready to enjoy your pretzels.